Quick Mark Talk today is being sponsored by me again because I'm cool with that. Today we are chatting about NXT Takeover In Your House and Raw that was on Monday. We're gonna do a double shot of Mark Talk because I did get a chance to watch both of them, but I didn't get a chance to really review NXT Takeover yesterday because the whole situation with everything not going as planned. So we are going to work on that. We're going to knock out both of them and keep moving forward. I appreciate everybody that watches these that are uploaded to YouTube and they're posted on Twitter and all that good stuff. One thing of news that I will say before we start doing the review is that New Japan Pro Wrestling will be returning next week around like June 15th, and they're gonna do a couple of shows with no fans, and then they believe they're gonna do shows with fans in July, which is awesome news. It seems like every other wrestling promotion is starting to plan for July, especially the major ones. All right, and this Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier is set for August 15th. Alrighty. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the wrestling promotions are prepping for a July rollout with fans. I'm assuming it won't be a bunch of them as normal, but at least there'll be some fans in attendance, so that'll be good to see. Let's go into NXT Takeover. NXT Takeover In Your House with the house. Thank God they brought the house back. They sat there, they put it in. It looks like the old setup. It was just a good look, and then they put their own little NXT vibe on it with the band. You know what? NXT really understands it sometimes. They just get it. They get it. They know set designs work. I'm happy. I was happy to see the house, and I'm glad they actually did bring it back. They brought back Todd Pettengill. Like, come on. Like, the nostalgia levels were through the roof, and I hope they make this a regular thing. Then, the other bright spot about it is they had commercials. Ico Pro commercial. I died. I was like, is that done? Ice cream bars. They did it all. If they could have just did Karate Masters or Karate Fighters and some other small commercials that were back in the day too, I'd have been over the moon. But it was amazing look, and they actually got the NXT superstars involved too, so it was also a good look. And then they had the fun part is having Shawn Michaels and the rest of DX trying to work the computers for AOL. Because it was funny, because I remember watching the pay-per-view back in the day, and Shawn Michaels is sitting there and he's like, yeah, he's talking to the people on America Online, and then he's just sitting there and he like, what is this? Like, it's the funniest thing in the world. And then it's a running gag with Shawn Michaels and computers, so it's a funny thing to see is him struggling. And oh my god, Road Dogg looks so old. Like, he looks like he could play Santa. Him and like Mick Foley could fight for Santa privileges. That's how wild his beard is and everything. And it's just so weird to see them and then Hunter and all them looking so older than what I've seen, what I grew up watching. Like, it's surreal to see. But overall, that whole setup and Todd Pettengill setting up the show and everything like that, it was just an amazing sight, and I loved it. It was great. Let's go to the matches. First match of the night was the 6-woman tag match. You had Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart against Raquel Gonzalez. You had Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae. Good match. Really good match. They put it all out there. It was fun to watch, and it was a nice little preview of what the women's division is going to look like in the future. Like, all those women are going to be fighting for the title very soon. It's going to be awesome to see, and I can't wait for it. So overall, Mia Yim's team gets the win. It was good. It was a really good match. Like, it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see. Next match on the card, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Now this was fun too. It was nice. I was mostly just looking forward to the entrance, and Damian Priest's entrance is one of my favorites. Balor's, when he's a demon, it's always been my favorites too. He wasn't a demon. That was a little sad. Just to see how the demon would have figured out to come through the house would have been good to know, but you know what? It's cool. It was a hard fought. It was a little all over the place, but I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't, I don't know. Like, it felt weird. Like, it was a little early, so I was still kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird spot on the card for me, I guess. Like, it wasn't a bad match. I didn't hate it. Like, none of the matches were bad on the card. I just thought it was weird. It was a little early, but I'm like, the rest of the card makes sense. They didn't really have much to fight for, but it felt like it was just like Priest was using it. It was weird, but I still enjoyed the match overall. Balor gets the win. And I mean, I guess it's nice, but I mean, what's next for Priest? What's next for Balor? Like, I really thought Balor was heel at one point, and then all of a sudden he's like a babyface in this fight. So I'm like, well, what are we doing here? I don't know. What's the plan for Balor? What's his goal? Like, why did he come back? What's his move? Then you had Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano for the North American title. Johnny Gargano goes through the door. He comes out. His entrance is through the front door. He looks at Doc Hendricks, and I went, "Thank you." I didn't know I needed it, but I needed it. And yeah, it was a nice look. A Doc Hendrick reference at any time is always a good time. So it was nice to see Doc show up like that, or just in the picture. It was still dope. Johnny goes, Keith Lee is there. Keith Lee has the Black Lives Matter gear, which is very important, very nice, and very awesome for NXT and WWE and Keith Lee to use their platform to make that statement. I've heard stories about Triple H coming, meeting with the NXT locker room and giving a apparently really great speech about equality and stuff like that. So I know WWE has a history, but looking at their current champions list, like, it's very diverse. It's a very diverse bunch, like, and it's surprising. Like, it's awesome to see, because a lot of people just think that when they see WWE, they know about the old stuff, but yeah, it seems like it's just weird. It's not weird in a bad way. It's just one of those things where if you didn't really look at it, you go, "Holy crap, I didn't even notice that." And I actually had that moment where I saw all the champions, like, I did not notice that. That is interesting. And that was dope to see the Black Lives Matters on the gear and all that stuff. That was really cool. Keith Lee, the one spot that everybody's probably gonna be talking about is the pounce, and he knocks Johnny Gargano outside the ringside area, the barrier, into the plexiglass, and he goes airborne. And I remember saying on this Mark Talk before, when the plexiglass came into play, in the plastic or whatever, when they were doing the social distancing from the start, I said that is not only very smart, but also a weapon at the same time. And I remember when Rhea Ripley flew off of the ringside area, hit the plexiglass, I was like, that's a weapon. Now you are actually seeing it in the force that Keith Lee hit Gargano with you see Gargano fly into plexiglass and fall out the ring. That shows you the level of intensity, and it's such a smart move. So I was all for it. Keith Lee gets the win. Candice LeRae tried to come in and try to distract and cause the interference, but Mia Yim came out in sweatpants and Timbs. Yo, anytime a shorty shows up in sweatpants and Timbs, you let her slide, because she is ready to throw down and she don't care who you are. She's a rider. Nope, don't bother her. Leave her alone. So that was dope to see. And next up, you had Cole versus Dream. I was shocked that this match came on so early. I was like, "Oh, it's the title," and then they had it, and basically it was out in the backlot brawl. Adam Cole shows up in a big monster truck. I was like, "Okay, buddy, okay." Like, did Dream just walk up? Like, did Dream have like a scooter and just show up or something? I just saw him there, and I was like, "Okay, cool." Cole's just sitting in the back of his truck, like, "What up? What up? What up?" And they fought everywhere. Random Uber driver shows up. It's comical, and it made me laugh. They went all through the different areas, different places that were in that parking lot or whatever. It looked like a shopping center. And they were just beating each other down. It was fun to watch. Yeah, a couple of surprises. Yeah, the rest of Undisputed Era show up. Then Dexter Lumis was there. It looks like, and like I said, it looks like they were kidnapped. And you're like, has anybody seen Roderick Strong? I love it. I love Dexter. Dexter Lumis is so weird and so creepy. That it's hilarious, and I love it. It was creepy when he was Sam Shaw on TNA, and then he moved over here to Dexter Lumis, and he went even further into the creepy realm. So I'm all for it. Sign me up. I don't know what's the end game. I don't know why he does it. You know what? I'll just let him do it. All right. Cole gets the win, which I was surprised by, because I did not know if they were going to continue with Cole as the champion. They I know people were already speculating about Cole re-signing with WWE, and if he was going to leave, and if he was going to be promoted to the main roster. So if he was going to get promoted or leaving, then this would probably be the best time to drop the title. But he didn't. And Dream now has no title opportunity for the NXT title. Adam Cole retains, and I just want to know what's next. I can't wait to find out what's next for Adam Cole for that, and for that world champion, or that NXT title, and what's next for Undisputed Era. They've won all the gold. Like, got a tag team picture. They are, well, I guess they can go for the North American title again, but they've already had it. They've already had all the gold. So I don't know what's next. What else can you do there? Except for implode. But other than that, what else can you do? Then they put on Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross right afterwards. I mean, if I would have flipped these two, but I guess they wanted to give the Cole and Dream match the time to breathe. Kind of weird to make one of your former NXT champions a breather match, but it ended up being really short, and it made Karrion Kross look like a killer, because he choked out Tommaso Ciampa, who's one of the toughest guys on that roster. Like, Ciampa walks around, and I get kind of uneasy. I'm like, yeah, you could look at him, and he just looks like he might throw you through a window, and you'd be like, "Oh, I just said good morning, sir." But I don't know. It was weird that it was short, but I understand you're trying to build the Cross as this mega monster, and you wanted Ciampa to get a little bit of offense, but ultimately you wanted to show that this guy's a killer, and you gotta bring your complete A game to this fight. So I'm hoping they're gonna extend this, maybe see what else is going on, or maybe Ciampa's leaving. You never know. it's so many different options. There's so much stuff there, but I can't wait to see what's next. But I just thought like it could have been a little bit longer. But I guess if you're going for Cross as a killer and a monster heel, you got to do what you got to do. Which leads us to the main event of NXT TakeOver In Your House, the triple threat match: Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and the NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, defending her title against two people. Obviously, that is always the massive disadvantage in these situations, because when you could lose and not be pinned or submitted. So you always know those stakes are real. Charlotte Flair is 15 time world champion already or something like that. She's up there. 9, 12, whatever. A lot. She has been champion a lot of times. So she knows this risk. She knows that this is a big situation, that she could lose her title. And they let it all go. You got 3 of the top stars at their craft. Like, you got the young one, you got the vet, you got the legacy, you got a lot going, and they did their thing as the main event. Io gets the pinfall because Charlotte had Rhea in the figure 8, and she drops the moonsault and pins her while Charlotte's still locked up with her legs. Perfect strategy in a triple threat. When someone's getting that submission down, you sit there, you get the pinfall, and hopefully they don't tap. Remember, Drake Maverick got the same situation where he got the pinfall, and the other guy was tapping, but the ref couldn't see it. Smart move. That's how you do it. That's how you get the win. Io is your new NXT champion. I can't wait to see who's going to challenge her next. If it's going to be Charlotte coming back, if Rhea is going to show up, if one of the girls or one of the women from the six woman tag in the start of the show comes out there and challenges her. There's so many different options available, and I look forward to seeing all of them. So that was it for NXT. Like I said, an overall good show, fun to watch. It was a little short, but most of those things hammered home, but it also left me with a lot more questions. So I'm kind of hyped and curious to see what's going to happen on Wednesday. So we jump over to Monday, and Monday kicks off with Asuka showing up, because apparently one of the matches on the card is Asuka versus Charlotte, renewing their rivalry a week before, or less than a week before, Asuka has to defend her title against Nia Jax. Literally the worst idea ever. You do not want to go into the week of a pay-per-view fighting against a former world champion and someone you have never defeated. That is a real shot to the confidence if it does not pan out correctly. Let's see. So Asuka comes out, then all of a sudden she gets interrupted by Bayley and Sasha Banks, the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. They beat Bliss and Nikki Cross on Friday, and they came out there to celebrate, and they had to let everybody know here comes Charlotte. Charlotte's got some stuff to say because, you know, she's former world champion, but she didn't have any gold at the moment because, you know, everybody's gonna make fun of that. She's goldless. But back and forth goes, and then all of a sudden here comes Iconic. They show up, and now they're ready to throw down. So now you have you have 2 tag teams and then 2 individuals. They decided to make this a triple threat tag team match. Or not even a triple threat, really, because you had a tag. It was only 2 people in the match, but it was all over the place. So they cut the commercial, come back. They got them all in there, setting up for a match. Asuka and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha and the Iconics. And just bodies flying everywhere. Asuka gets the pinfall on, what was that, Billie Kay, I believe. And then Charlotte sneaks her, obviously, because they still have a match tonight. Again, you have your world champion fighting 2 matches less than a week before the pay-per-view. Solid. I don't agree with that at all. I'd understand it more if the challenger was fighting and needed to prove a point. I get that. The other one's the champion. She doesn't need to fight 6 days before the match. Twice. Just, I didn't agree with that. You got the Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins promo. Rey Mysterio's talking about how he's not retiring just yet. Seth Rollins shows up and says, I gave you a chance to get out of here, bro. Just let it go. Then Aleister Black shows up out of nowhere. Yeah, the best moments are when you're not expecting a person to dive in the camera and hit you. Just like when Rey Fenix kicked Orange Cassidy out of nowhere, out of the camera. That is the best moments ever, when you're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear, bam, whoa. So let's see. That would end up leading to Murphy and Austin Theory versus Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo in a tag team match. Rollins goes backstage for a little bit. They're fighting. Rollins shows up again. He's wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. But Black and Humberto got the win. It's there. I don't know. It's there. I guess, are they building something for this Sunday? Like, is it going to be a 6? I don't know. We'll see. I might have missed that part. Like, it's a lot of talk. Like, sometimes a promo, we get it. Sometimes I'm just like, and I'm not really like fully invested in the Rollins Rey Mysterio feud like I should, even though he's probably really good. It's just I want to see the match. I don't really care about the talking. Then you have the Peep Show. Christian returns to Raw to do the Peep Show, and Edge is the guest, and he drops the hardest of truth bombs on your best friend that you can do on national TV. He tells him, I don't see you. I don't think you got it. I don't think you got the hunger. I don't think you ready. Where's this guy that's supposed to be the killer, that's supposed to be the ultimate opportunistic, the Edge that I know, the Edge that your mom knows? He dropped the mom statement. He knew that was going to trigger him, and he did it. And he triggered Edge just right to wake him up, because Edge was still living in that I'm just happy to be here phase. My eyes are all glossy. Yay! I'm back. I'm back in business. And Christian was like, "That was cute 3 weeks ago. It's time to fight, bro." And he got, "You right. Right." Randy comes out and starts talking. I immediately cut my sound off because I don't want to hear Randy talk a promo about something else. Pass. But we know it's going to be the greatest wrestling match of all time. I love that because I know they know they're never going to live up to that expectation. But you know, everybody that sees any other promotion do a match, it's the greatest wrestling match of all time. we've all heard certain people throw that out at any chance they can. So it's kind of funny that they're doing that in a sarcastic way. Let's see. After that, MVP does a interview where he sees Truth trying to hide. He calls Truth a clown, which yeah, makes sense. And then Lashley beats him up. I'm shocked no one pinned him at that point, but let's see. They're basically hyping up MVP and Lashley versus the Raiders later on tonight. But before that, the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders held a decathlon. I was not prepared to sit here and say that the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders were in a decathlon on Monday Night Raw. Would never thought I was going to be able to say that, but it actually happened. And I was entertained as always. I seriously don't get it if you don't think that this is hilarious. This was funny. This was all over the place. It gave them their own spin. Montez sitting there dropping all the gear when he didn't want a sword fight. He said, nope, I forfeit. And then it's funny. It's all funny. Like the running gag that Ivar is the hottie and Eric is gross. If you don't have a sense, if you don't have a sense of humor in wrestling, you are dead inside. Like, I loved it. So, with all that, then you had they actually tied, which is another thing that I thought was hilarious. You're not supposed to tie in a decathlon. You're supposed to have a tiebreaker, but they didn't. They tied with the greatest of pole vaults moments of all time. So, if you can find it, go watch it. It's hilarious. Let's see. After that, then they had Apollo come out and he is offering a title opportunity for somebody at Backlash. He offers a triple threat match for Garza, Owens, Andrade. And Andrade gets the win, but the interesting part was you actually saw Garza and Andrade actually go at it. And Zelina actually got caught in the crossfire and she got knocked down to the ground while they were bickering and fighting. That is interesting because I'm not sure if they're going to break them up, and I'm hoping they don't break them up. I love factions. I don't want to see a faction break up because they can reestablish themselves. I don't want to see them just break up like this, but Andrade gets the win. So he's going to be facing Apollo Crews, hopefully, I believe, at Backlash for the United States Championship. Awesome. Sign me up. Let's go. I'm all for it. After that, you have MVP and Lashley versus the Raiders. You had Drew McIntyre at ringside. You had the Street Profits there because they were showing some support for the Raiders. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was fun. You knew Lashley and Drew were going to finally go to blows eventually, and it started popping off. I mean, it did happen. It did go down. It's just pretty much is a standstill and is ready for Backlash, which is this Sunday. So we're going to probably try to do a Backlash preview Sunday at like 5 o'clock. 5 p.m. Quick one. Football wise, football, like American football or... Oh, yeah, American football. I am a Cowboys fan. Dallas Cowboys. So, last match of the night, Asuka versus Charlotte. Charlotte gets the win after Nia Jax distraction. Then Nia Jax destroys Asuka. Building up until the Backlash match, but it's just weird that you see Asuka has now been attacked twice in one day. So it was okay. Certain spots I don't care for overall, but overall I'm not losing any sleep. It's the go home show, so you're gonna try to build up some animosity and you're gonna build up some suspense. Cool. All for it. That's my recap for both shows. Thank God I got that out the way. Now I can do Impact tomorrow. Then we have the NXT AEW review on Thursday, and then SmackDown right before the right before we do the actual Backlash preview. We'll do that. We'll do SmackDown first. 11 Raymore, which is 10 minutes away from Kansas City, so I'm a Chiefs fan. Hey, congrats on the championship, Chiefs fan. That's what's up, though. I mean, I'm you're not an NFC East team, so I can't be mad. I don't hate on it. So that's dope, though. Oh, feels good to get all where there were fireworks going off until like 12 a.m. Of course, people were celebrating. I mean, it's been a while since the Kansas City Chiefs won a Super Bowl, so yeah. I mean, it's been a long road as a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since I started watching football, so I've been through it all. I've been through the down moments. I've been through the good moments. I went through the dynasty in the '90s. I've went through the terrible 2000s. I've seen it all. So I'm still here, and I'm still supporting the team. It's not the easiest of tasks, but I'm still doing it. Still rocking out with them. Can't wait for the next season. Hopefully it does do better than what we did last year. New coach, new dynamic, new focus. So I'm hoping it works. New energy. Ugh. So, yeah, that is pretty much, yeah, that's the 3 hour mark. Nailed it. Perfect. That was the great episode of Mark Talk. We got some football talk in, we got wrestling talk done. It was overall a good stream. Like, we actually knocked out a good ending for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team, which is awesome. We already have a new challenge prepared for us for Thursday, and we're gonna probably go right into that fight Thursday. So we're gonna kick it off on an intense note. But for right now, we are going to wrap up now. We have another show at 4. So in 3 hours from now, we'll be back on 4 o'clock. We'll be playing The Last of Us, hanging out, shooting the breeze, and hoping that everybody comes through and hangs out there. Let's see. Tomorrow we got not Brawlhalla. Tomorrow we got Warzone, and we got Emerald. Hopefully we can go beat Roxanne for the second try and keep going from there. Make sure you check all the social networks. HeelMarcus.com is being updated. It already has new stuff, and we're going to update it to make sure that the dates and stuff are all up to date as well. Mark Talk is going to have its own little section again on HeelMarcus.com, so you don't miss any of the random chats, because these are all separate. You can go to YouTube and see the playlist that has all the old Mark Talks as well. I'm trying to think of if I'm missing anything else. I think I got pretty much everything. We got posted an old Warzone clip on IGTV and Facebook last night. Gonna go post something on TikTok, a couple of things on TikTok today as well. So yeah, It's a good run. We're having a good run right now, and I'm happy to do this. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If I don't see you later, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and stay positive and spread love, all the good stuff. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will see you guys later today, 4 p.m. And if not, I will see you on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody that watches these clips, that are sharing the clips, that are sharing the channels, that are following. Shout out to all the followers. Shout out to all the subscribers. It's my birthday month, so we're celebrating all month long. So let's keep it popping, man. And I hope you have a great day. I'm out. Peace.